Welcome back to episode 5 of One Too Many. I am gathered here today with Jason Tester, Keith Allen, per usual. Today is May 2nd. I know it's been a little bit of time since we've last gathered with you all. However, with that being said, we got a pretty cool lineup tonight. I'm going to spend some time kind of talking about a little bit initial thoughts with the draft. After that, spend a little bit of time with our own little draft that we'll get into, which I think is pretty unique. Not to mention our own one too many opinions. And then last but not least, getting into the album of the week. I think that's something that all of us can enjoy, sharing music, sharing the love. And with that being said, if you guys do want to engage with us in some sort of fashion, like, subscribe, comment, do what you need to do. We do appreciate it. The best way for us to get engaged in the community is with you engaging with us. So without further ado, we'll hop into it. Like I said, we'll get into initial thoughts with the draft, and then we'll get into our own little draft, which is pretty awesome with the boys, giving our own sort of opinions on different topics. But like I said, we did have the NFL draft last weekend. Would have started, what was that, Thursday or Friday of last weekend, going through the rest of the weekend. Whether or not, your team did well or did not. It's one of those things that I think we all have different opinions on. So with that being said, we'll kind of go through our initial thoughts on some of our teams. We got 2 Colts fans here, me and Keith, myself, and then we do have an Eagles fan, which I think is going to come to no surprise that the Eagles drafted fucking fantastically.
Go Birds!
It was awesome. You guys probably got one of the best picks later on, but again, we'll get into that here in a minute. So thank you for tuning in today, joining us. I know we all appreciate it since we spend our time kind of giving you some of this content. And like I said, if you can engage with us, please do. So without further ado, we'll hop into it. NFL draft. Initial thoughts. I will start with an Eagles fan because the Eagles had quite possibly the best draft. However, with that being said, I know me and Keith had some pretty good high reviews in terms of what the Colts did. So Jason, kick us off. We'll start with the Eagles and their picks and how they're looking for this upcoming year.
First off, I am a biased Eagles fan, but I'm going to give them an A+ for this draft anyway. This is definitely Howie Roseman's best draft. Yeah, that's about it. Jalen Carter, we got at 9. Nolan Smith, we got at 30. What? Yeah, we got him at 30.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
I mean,
Traded
we
for
drafted really well throughout. Can't complain. I mean, there's nothing else to really say except we got some dogs. And I think Howie's learned from the Jalen Reagor mistake.
What about the trade for DeAndre Swift?
Oh, completely forgot about that. Yeah, that's another dog right there, Philly boy.
Yeah.
From the St. Joe's
So
Prep.
good.
He is injury prone. Yeah, exactly. I did forget about him. No, but he is injury prone. Same for Shad Penny. But I think if you can cycle them with each other and not just have one be the dominant back behind our offensive line, I think they'll thrive. I think they'll do well. That's about it. Jalen Carter should make an immediate impact. Nolan Smith will be playing and learning from Hassan Reddick. So I don't know how much of an impact he'll have, but it's going to be more of a learning year for him.
Yeah. No, I mean, as somebody who's big on the front 7 on both sides of the football, right? Like, you can't deny that the Eagles have just, for lack of a better term, just dug down deep when it comes to drafting in the last 2 drafts.
Yeah, man.
You guys got the top talent, and realistically, we saw the best Georgia defense 2 years ago, which would have been that 2021 year. And the Eagles have 5 out of the front 7. So for those out there that don't recognize that, you should be cleaning your shorts real quick for Hershey Squirts because they're going to be coming after the quarterback real tough. And realistically, I think it's something that I don't think people understand that within an NFC that has a little bit maybe weaker quarterback play, the Eagles are about to be very good for a very long time if you don't understand that. So regardless of that, I'll leave the floor open to everybody else. But yeah.
Colts fans?
Yeah, Keith, Colts fans? Yeah. How are we feeling?
Well, about the Colts draft, fantastic. About the Eagles draft, can I be an Eagles fan? Like, is that allowed?
Exactly.
Nah, you can. Yeah. I still like the Colts. I still watch the Colts, keep up with them. I know what's going on.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, I think Howie Roseman did a fantastic job. Carter, fantastic player. Nolan Smith, I think, even is a fantastic player, even if he's having a learning year. I mean, what? He was on one
Yeah, right.
defenses last year, if not the best defense. And I mean, DeAndre Swift, don't get me wrong, like, yeah, he's maybe not one of the best backs in the league, but does not mean he's not a bad back either. I mean, you now have Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift. I mean, what the hell?
Sanders is gone. Sanders in Carolina.
Okay.
We got Rashad Penny at $600,000 for this year.
Oh, okay.
Talk about a steal.
Okay.
Even then, though, you got a pass catching back that is fantastic out of the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, running backs, like, I know running backs are pretty dime a dozen, sort of. But at the same time, I think these are two of the better backs in the league. They were both kind of like second backs, maybe not DeAndre Swift, but Rashad Penny a little bit. But still, I mean, solid guy. Same with DeAndre Swift. I think the Eagles draft fantastic. Colts, love it. Scary.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Love
Yes,
it.
it very well.
Me and Cam were talking about this at dinner earlier. Anthony Richardson is just a freak. I mean, 4.4 40. I mean, what the at a quarterback? What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude's basically a linebacker playing quarterback. Not even.
He's a cannon.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's just something else. I mean, I don't even know. You can't really compare him to a lot because there's not a lot like him. I mean, Cam Newton is like the closest comparison, and even that's not exactly accurate either. I'm excited. I mean, I think this man has one of the biggest ceilings. You know, he also could bust the hardest at the same time. That's his. Yeah. I think that's his narrative right there. Is how are you going to do? And I think the Colts have to give him his full rookie contract to develop, no matter what.
No, amen to that, Keith. As a Colts fan, and I'll briefly touch on it, but it's kind of one of those things, right? Like, if you're going to swing for the fences, right, you might as well hope for a grand slam. And I think Richardson has all those intangibles. Everyone's going to sit there and say, only 13 starts. He may not have the experience, all that good stuff. But, to the Eagles' point last year, they had a great coach develop a young quarterback who was mobile with Hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's similar to kind of what we're going to see with Richardson. And at least I'm hopeful. Hurts was playing probably a little bit higher of a level in college, being at Alabama and Oklahoma. With that being said, I think Richardson's something that's a little bit different. I think he's going to be something that a Colts fan will find refreshing, right? Something that's different compared to an old, smart, immobile quarterback. I'm going to use that for lack of a better term.
You guys have never had a mobile quarterback.
Andrew Luck was more mobile than
really since I was like, to Keith's point, really since Andrew Luck, which we're really going to call him a pocket passer. He's really not mobile. He was just a freak athlete that played pocket passer. Besides the point, though, as a Colts fan, this is just a great, fresh breath air.
Yeah, it makes me feel better that multiple teams were like, oh, if he was available, I would have grabbed him.
Yeah, I know the Seahawks were looking at that. I know the Titans were kind of flirting with the Cardinals at pushing up. So it's really great to see that. But I know for the initial thoughts of the draft, both as an Eagles fan, they had a fantastic draft. I know for the Colts, this is something that we're excited about. Whether or not we're good is kind of irrelevant, but we're excited to watch the team be something different. And kind of what we get to see be a little bit more of a modern NFL team. So,
And to touch on like a little bit more of their draft positions, just second and third round, I think the cornerback they drafted, Julius Brents, huge addition, needed a replacement with Stephon Gilmore. Not only Stephon Gilmore, just at corner in general.
Yeah.
And what Josh Downs, I think that's the name, UNC receiver. I think a good pickup. I think, don't get me wrong, I think they needed that. Isaiah McKenzie's now on our team, who's I think a good slot. Seems like Josh Downs might be more of that middle of the field route runner, get separation more, so burn people, which we definitely needed. I think that's where you kind of see maybe for me, at least you see the draft grades drop, and that's why, maybe the Colts get a B in 7A. Yeah, I mean, I think the Colts had a solid draft. I can't complain about it. I think they pretty much touched on a lot of what they needed, and I'm excited for next year. Mostly hoping that Anthony Richardson pans out the most. That's really the main focus of our draft.
Exactly. It's kind of a good segue into all of us kind of giving a little bit of a twist to you guys in terms of our own draft. Today, I know all of us are going to sit here and talk about what we would call our retro draft, for lack of a better term. But again, with that being said, we're going to hit you today with what we would each give our top 5 picks in a 5-round draft between 3 people. Of those kind of games that kind of shaped our childhood. And with that being said, we're going to do a snake draft. We will not start off with me, unlike we did in the last one when we were talking about movies. Maybe we talked about Jason first. But regardless of that, we're going to keep it going and kind of, like I said, give us a little bit of the benefit of the doubt where we're talking about a draft, what we see here on One Too Many and what we think about. We play a lot of video games together. I know everyone out there in the community probably does too. So with that being said, I will leave it up to us to get that kick started, and we'll do a little bit of a snake draft. Top 5 teams, or not teams, but lack of a better term, games that we do like to play, and what we do view as what I would call retro stage, 2000s to early 2010. I'm going to say 2009, really, as that kind of parameter, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But something that makes us think back to not high school and more of that uncomfortable stage in life when we're just getting weird with one another, because I know that's what we all care about. So with that being said, let's kick it off. I really think there's some good games out there, and I know some of you guys out there would love to kind of entertain us with maybe your thoughts. So engage with us if you can. But for us out here, let's get it started. Boys, let's go.
Jason, you're up.
All right.
Pick one.
All right, I'll start 1-1. This is going to be the probably easiest choice of the draft. It's a game that shaped all of our childhoods, the most classic Xbox 360 game of all, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
God.
Putting it on the board.
Yeah.
That's such a good first pick. Such a good first pick.
I had to.
Nothing like going into your first lobby and there is just expletives everywhere. I mean, it's crazy. It is awesome. So, Jason, kudos to you. That might be one of the best games ever. So, yeah.
Campaign, multiplayer, just local games with your friends. I mean,
nothing like going to the back of terminal and playing dodgeball with throwing knives, and it's having a great time. You're screaming at your friend, but also like you're gonna go probably play basketball or hoops with them later, and then eat pizza rolls at night with your family. So that's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, great pick. All right, Cam, you're up.
Oh, me? Okay. Realistically, I was gonna go Modern Warfare 2. I told Keith at dinner that was gonna be my number 1 pick.
He did tell me that.
Sorry, I had to.
That's a good one. So I'm going to give another one for those out there that might understand this. This is going to be a little bit of a PS2 kind of retro game. Battlefront 2 with Star Wars.
I hope that was going to make it back to me. That was going to be my next pick.
I got to go. That might be one of the best games that I've ever played in terms of just being able to choose any character and have fun with it and play online and play with your friends who were talking to you as you played it. It was awesome. So, that's going to be my first round pick, but it's a fantastic game nonetheless. If you haven't played it, make sure you go do.
Dude. Best representation of Star Wars. Space battles and land battles. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
amazing.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
And you can conquer the galaxy. Come on, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Keith, what are you feeling?
I'm going to hit you with 2 back-to-back greats. All right.
There
we
go.
Okay. Round 1, pick 3. Round it off. GameCube game. Shaped the absolute hell out of my childhood. Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Oh, it's so
good. Dude, I still almost play
good.
to this day. I play Ultimate more, but I've played Melee in the past year. That game came out in 2000, 1 or 2 or 3, something like that.
Yep.
20 years. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shaped all the
too good.
Shaped all the Smash games we play today.
Definitely.
Yeah. It really does. Not to mention how personal it is with your friends. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You might ruin friendships, but more importantly, you're gonna have fun with it. Well,
But here you go.
depends on who you are and if you
yeah.
can't handle the anger. But
But-
besides the point.
But
you know.
to round back down, round 2, pick one. Halo 3.
Oh,
I don't know
another
how
good
big
one.
of Xbox 360 you guys were. I didn't even own one in that. I went to my
I had
cousin's
one.
house and I played the
That's so
absolute
good.
crap out of that game. Custom games, campaign, just local play. I mean, dude, it kind of reminds me of Modern Warfare 2 in that sense. Like, it was just hours and hours and hours just thrown into that game. And you could do anything you wanted. The custom games were amazing. Online was amazing. The campaign, one of the best ever. I mean, that game shaped what I thought of Halo for the since now. Like, I've compared everything to Halo 3.
No, Halo early on was really what shaped my gaming understanding of what I thought was going to come in the future, right?
Yeah.
Just because those early Halo games, there's nothing better than playing with your friends and you get a Spartan laser, right?
Yep.
You just start picking people off left and right. It's awesome. So,
my hand
that's
back
a fantastic pick.
My hand back to you with round 2, pick 2.
Okay. This might be a little bit subjective. I'm gonna go with a fantastic campaign game, Xbox 360. One of the first games that I became just kind of infatuated with. The first and original Assassin's Creed. Altair, going through the different missions, understanding that you can't just like run in and kind of go guns blazing. You got to be a little bit more tactical than that. That was one of my favorite games that I kind of got into. Now, for those out there that are going to play the first Assassin's Creed, yes, every time you go to a different location, it's the same 4 missions. And I'm sorry, that's welcome to 2000s producing with video games. But it was one of the first games to do that. And that was one of my favorite memories that I had was going over to my buddy's house. I probably was a little young to be playing it, but it was one of those things that I look back on now, and it was one of my favorite games. So Assassin's Creed, what I would call the original or maybe 1 with Altair in the Middle East was one of my favorites. Tess, what about you? How are you coming in on this second round pick?
Well, you stole my second round pick with that first round pick. I really thought it would make it back to me. So I'm gonna go with the first Star Wars Battlefront game.
Oh, great one. Yep.
I'm gonna pick the first one. Great game. Not as good as the second, but I'll take what I can get. The next one,
Big bets.
I'm
this is a big deal.
I'm honestly thinking of a lot of games right now.
There's a lot.
This
So
is tough.
so take
There's
your time.
a lot.
There's no rush.
I got it. Okay. I got it. The first, no, here it is. Another PlayStation 2 classic, Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. One of the best PlayStation 2 games of all time.
I literally, Jason, I told Keith this at dinner. I was like, Ratchet and Clank has got to be up there, man.
Yeah.
It's so good. It is so good.
Amazing.
Oh, I hate you. I hate the fact that you said that right in front of me on the snake draft back here. I hate that you did that.
I'm sorry, I had to.
No,
had to do it to him.
It only goes to show that somebody that I'm drafting with knows what they're doing. But Ratchet and Clank, fantastic game. Just overall gameplay, fantastic. Mm-hmm. Not to mention it was like appropriate for kind of us being younger, right? So you could enjoy it without, getting the gripe from your parents that you're doing something like GTA where you're beating somebody with a bat and then stealing their car. So, Ratchet and Clank was awesome. So, okay, I guess I'll get started on mine. Man, we're really going through the ringer, and I'm kind of upset Ratchet and Clank didn't make it back to me because that was one of my
there's other Ratchet and Clank games. I just chose Up Your Arsenal specifically.
That was the one I played as a kid, so
Okay, never mind then.
I was like, yeah. We're go. I guess, yeah. Okay. So I live with Keith now, and he knows this that I rage on Mario Kart daily. I'm gonna have to go with another pick that is Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube.
Great game.
Fantastic game when you got to play with your friends and you would have the dual cart. You'd be able to flip around. One would drive, one would throw the items. One of my all-time favorites, and I appreciate that game. Will Morris, if you ever do listen to this podcast, for the record, me and you, I don't think can get beat on Sherbert Island with multiple red shells. I don't think that can happen. But again, one of my favorite all-time games, one of the best kind of map cohesion in terms of putting together a bunch of maps that were from multiple different games. Awesome game. Not to mention you got to have fun and also kind of pick on some of your weaker-minded friends if they couldn't handle it. So, Keith, I'll pass it on to you. We're looping back around, but Double Dash was mine.
Yeah, I'm jealous. Never played Double Dash, but they're a great thing. I'm going to go with a PS2 classic. I wasn't sure how many I should go with, but this one really I just remember so vividly is Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus.
Dude, that's a fantastic one.
But one of the best story campaign modes, whatever you want to know, whatever you want to call it. So much fun, just so kid friendly, right? Probably more appropriate for my age when I was playing it.
I was like, yeah, that first person player mode is fantastic.
Yeah,
good.
It was, yeah, man. That the game just brings back. It just elicits a lot of memory. But first pick round 4, definitely not kid friendly at all, and I should not have been playing it. Was GTA San Andreas. First GTA game I've ever played. Also one of my favorites, purely because of the cheat codes you could throw on it. I didn't even play the story mode ever. I don't think I played it once. But me and my brothers and my cousins looked up the cheat codes to it. My friends, whatever, it doesn't matter. You get unlimited ammo, you get flying cars, you get explosive ammo, you get super jump, you get punch, explosive punch, whatever, whatever you want to call it. Just the most it was basically just a sandbox game for us to have fun and just play. It was so much fun.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Well, it taught me how to drive. Yeah. Taught me how to drive my car and beat people with a bat. I do on a daily basis. So
it prepared me for GTA 5.
Exactly, right? It was just teaching us. It was a stepping stone to what was next. Keith, that's a fantastic pick. I'll go next. I feel like I've been kind of shooting out a lot of PlayStation 2 games, and that was because I feel like a lot of people that were either neighbors or friends all had PlayStation 2s. Right. Just because I think a lot of you out here will agree that may or may not been of the greatest console of all time. Well, that's here. You could debate either console of what you want to choose with that, but I really sit here now and I go through a lot of different games. I have 2 in my head right now that I'm really thinking of, but I'm gonna lean one. My own family would play this a lot. My uncle out there, if you do hear this, amen to you because you're the one who brought it in front of me. Destroy All Humans for the PlayStation 2. One of the just gooberiest, stupid games you could play. I really enjoyed playing that. Nothing like taking a poor human, shooting them with some sort of anti-gravity rifle and launching them into the air was really, really freaking funny. Especially when you're 10 years old and they watch their body get all contorted and get all weird. But yeah, Destroy All Humans. I would also accept Destroy All Humans too. But PlayStation 2, I'm gonna kind of keep that wave going. But one of my favorite games just to sit back and relax.
Nothing like picking up an oil tanker and flinging that around with your UFO's tractor.
Exactly right. Just blowing stuff up because you can. But Jason, with that being said, what's the next one you're feeling?
Yeah, so this is 4 and 5 right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Shit, I wish I could do 6 because all right. I kind of want to bounce off of Keith and pick a GTA game because it's a huge part of my childhood, but I don't think I want to do that. And because he already picked GTA. So
Sure.
I'm just going to say an honorable mention. Played all the time on the PSP, on the bus, going to middle school. GTA, Vice City. That's an honorable mention. I'm not actually putting that down just because Keith picked a GTA game already. But my next two it's gonna make it pretty easy for me then. So my next one is a Wii game. It was on Xbox and PlayStation as
I
well,
love
but
it.
I
We haven't had a Wii
mainly
game.
played it on the Wii.
Yeah.
Y'all played it with me. We would stick the controller in the guitar.
Yeah.
Guitar Hero 3, baby.
Let's go.
Fantastic series.
That's my fourth
Oh.
pick.
Love
Amazing game.
it. Love it.
No, you might
Any
be
Guitar
right in the
Hero.
fact that might be one of the best games of all time.
Oh,
That
definitely.
genuinely might be
100%.
one of the best games of all time.
Oh, I think so too. And
Oh.
then my last one. It might not be the best of the sports games, but it was my first ever game on the Xbox 360.
We know where you're going.
Because I have good memories with it. No, I don't think you are.
Okay.
It's NBA 2K9 with Kevin Garnett on the cover. The reason being is because me and my neighbors, one of them's actually my roommate right now. We in NBA 2K9 we made these two players. One of them was named Wizard Jewish. He was this super short 5'8" dude. He couldn't shoot the ball, but he could dunk. He could dunk on the fucking foul line. And then there's this other guy, we named him Dumper Delight. He was the tallest. He was the tallest you can make him. I think he was like 7'6", but he couldn't dunk. You can get near the rim, but he'd have to do a layup. He couldn't dunk the ball.
Jason, that goes against every Jewish ancestor that has ever played basketball.
I know. That's the funny part.
Oh, that is so
So that's
awesome.
why NBA 2K9. That's a personal thing for me, and that's gonna be my fifth and final choice.
I love it.
I also used to
Dude,
fucking
that
bowl
is
out
aw-
with the Pistons with Tayshaun Prince. My goodness, 3-point city for me.
Oh,
Tayshaun Prince was a baller.
that whole Pistons team. We won't get into that today for you all today, but
We'll get in
that
later.
Pistons team was so ahead of its time. But Jason, just for the record, those two one of those with Guitar Hero might be one of the best. You just having a weird providing the Jewish faith with an exceptional athlete in a video game. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you, and for all of us out there that are going to be a part of Jason's faith, make sure to like that because I think we always need some sort of Jewish representation for what we're doing in terms of basketball. So after that, man, final round.
You got to follow that, Cam.
That's what. Hey, Guitar Hero is one of the best games of all time.
Undoubtedly.
I'm really sitting here. I don't know how I can follow it up.
I can give you an honorable. I can give you an honorable mention if you need another pick.
Whew. I'm sitting here in my head and I'm contemplating multiple games. Okay. You know what? I'll go with it.
Do it.
The original Nintendo 64 Mario Party, which would have been Mario Party, I believe, 2 at the time. One of the all-time favorite games that I would play with my family. They originally brought what was the mini games together. I was sitting here between that or on the GameCube, Sean Alexander Madden 07.
I was thinking about that for one of my picks.
That's what I was like. I was thinking between those two because there's nothing better than when you're Jerome Bettis and you're running over a middle linebacker. So
first game with the hit stick, I think, right?
Yes, fantastic. You also hit him with that little shimmy juke. Fantastic.
I missed it.
I put Mario Party in there just because that's a classic game.
Yeah.
Not to mention, for those out there that don't know this, if you're having the females over, play Mario Party. Great time. Everyone gets engaged. Great game for everybody that's a part of it. For those out there that, have girls over and then play Fortnite or whatever. Don't do that. So, beside the point, one of those games that you can get everybody involved. But I'm going to put Mario Party. I will say an honorable mention. There is nothing better than listening to the soundtrack that is the Sean Alexander 07 Madden when you load into a game and you get to put a 340-pound running back that runs at 4.4. Quite possibly one of the best games ever. But Keith, I'll kind of let you wrap it up.
Oh boy, man. So what I got? The last pick? Is that what it is?
Last pick in the draft, baby.
All right. I'm going to go last pick and a quick honorable mention, but last pick, man. Then will be Slugfest.
Oh,
Yes.
great game.
No, I should choose the bigs.
You messed up, dude. You messed up.
Yep. Me and Keith talked about this at dinner.
Nothing like
it was a
playing
great game.
Slugfest, man. Just punching your fucking first baseman in the face. You catch on fire, you bean someone, they catch it back, and now they're on fire and they beat your pitcher. I mean, dude, you unlocked Rodeo Clowns as your team, man. You unlocked other teams too, but Rodeo Clowns is obviously the best because they were like midgets just playing. Oh my, that was one of my favorite games ever. I mean, it caused some heartbreak, when I lost and I got mad, but I digress.
Right?
Great game, man. Started my love for baseball, I think, which I don't love baseball, but it started it.
Yeah. Fantastic game, Keith. Great selection.
But quick honorable mention, man. I can't believe this never came up. NFL Street.
God.
I
why did
would
nobody think of that?
No. I was actually thinking about it. I was between so I had 3 choices for my final game.
No.
I was thinking either NBA 2K9, NFL Street,
Hey.
or what you said before, Madden 07 Kirsch. Those were 3
Hey.
things I was thinking of. But because of Dumper Delight and Wizard Jewish, I could not pick NBA.
No. Hey, man. All I know is Michael Vick is off limits on picking him. All right.
Yeah,
sure.
you're physically not allowed to draft him in any sort of team.
He's a cheat code. You can't pick him.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Nothing
man.
like 99 acceleration with 100 arm power.
And can play like cornerback.
He can play any
Absolutely
position
insane.
ever.
Yeah. So that's that. That was my that was the end of my picks, man.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So with that, those are kind of our picks. If you guys have any picks that you guys kind of want to talk to us about, make sure you kind of comment, subscribe, do what you need to do to get involved with us. I know we would all love to hear what you guys have and what you played in your childhood. I know all of us probably picked some of them that are a little bit too close to home, right?
Yeah. There's so many more we could have picked. I know there is.
Way too
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, exactly. There are so many out there that are fantastic games that all of us probably sat with multiple friends and played and laughed and just kind of enjoyed the unresponsibility of what it's like to be in your young stage in life, right? So if you
know
guys
what's
have
so
those,
much better about back then versus now?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're just playing online. Back then, you'd have to go over somebody's house, sit next to them. You'd have to actually talk to them while they're next to you instead of over the mic.
it's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy the concept of sitting next to each other, some wired controllers.
You're old,
play
man.
the game.
Grow up.
That's what I was like. Yeah, Jason.
Do I
you're
need
an
to
old
turn
man.
the
All of
page?
us are. Yeah,
Turn
there's something to be said for that. But yeah, I know if you guys have games, make sure to tell us because we would like to hear it. And more importantly, I know all of us can say this as all 3 of us like to play video games now that we're kind of older. It's something that can keep us all interconnected, and it's a great way to hang out with friends and just be yourselves and kind of cut back on the stresses of reality. So make sure to kind of communicate with us on that. But last but not least, I think something that us in particular have really enjoyed, all 3 people in kind of this podcast really enjoy music. I'll be quite frank. The other 2 people, Keith and Jason, are a little bit more well-versed in music, but it's one of those things that, whether you're going to work in the morning, whether you're going to work out, whether you're getting done with a long day of work, you're taking a shower and you just want to sing like Troy Bolton and you want to bet on yourself.
Yes, sir.
Exactly, right? Music's one of those things, right, that we kind of decorate in terms of what we have, in terms of this life that we live. and it's one of those things that we enjoy. So we kind of alluded to it a little bit back in one of our previous episodes, but I think album of the week is awesome. Enjoying it with you and listening to what you guys have to say as well as what we have to say is a great way to spend our time. And I know all of us, whether I'm cooking dinner with Keith, whether I am flying into Philly and seeing Jason, I got different tunes that I'm gearing up for. And it's a fantastic time. And I really enjoy it because different kinds of music give me different kinds of vibes, energy, what I'm feeling in the moment. And it's a really awesome thing. So we're going to talk about album of the week. And with that being said, I'm going to kick it off to my two brothers in arms beside me. With that, what are you guys feeling for album of the week? I know it's early May. We got spring on the rise. We got, baseball's on the come up. We got hockey and basketball playoffs. What are we feeling? What are we feeling, boys?
I mean, I can start us off.
Go for it.
Love the month of
Run
May.
it.
Start of summer, essentially. I mean, I know it's cold in Indiana right now, but
It's cold here.
I had this album come on today when I was just chilling at home, working, just listening to music in the background. But "Man on the Moon" by Kid Cudi.
Oh, that's such a good
I know,
one,
I know.
dude.
That's in my top 5 of all time, personally.
No, I know,
Top
I know.
five.
So good.
It wasn't
So
even.
good.
I wasn't even thinking about it prior till about 3 p.m. But it came on, man, and I was just like, I forgot how good this album was, because I know Cameron was with me. I think this weekend I was about to pick The Life of Pablo. 2016 was just different, man. But
Number 16 was a vibe. Something was
Oh.
different. Something was in the air.
I don't
But
know
anyway,
what-
sorry,
yeah,
Keith.
But yeah, no, Man on the Moon, like I said, top 5 albums of all time, maybe. I mean, dude, it's just the perfect
good.
summer album. It really just is.
It
all
is, dude.
All I can think about is those days when I was growing up, just in the summers, hanging out with my friends. They'd just come out, 2011, 2012. I was a kid, man. Oh, man, so good.
Oh, dude,
Oh, yeah,
day and
album of the
night.
week.
I was like, you just have. I'm not gonna go down the list because
Yeah.
you guys can all talk.
It's literally every song. Every song is a
I
banger.
could
Oh.
talk through a whole podcast.
Yeah,
of just
exactly.
that album, so we don't even need to get into that.
To Jason's
So-
point out there, you could literally spend a whole podcast on it. If you haven't listened to it, please, for the love of God, for your own sanity and your own self-awareness, please go take a listen. So, Keith, fantastic album of the week. Jason, how we feeling, brother?
I was gonna say those hums will change your life, by the way. All right. Album of the week, 7 album and song. First one. I've been on some weird kicks lately. So first song of the week, individual song, I'm gonna go with "The Color Violet" by Tory Lanez. I've been on a big Tory Lanez kick recently.
Yep.
Great song. Honestly, if you're driving at night too, that's a great song as well. But
Great late night vibe.
It sounds like The Weeknd, but it's not.
It's like a better not to sound weird, but like non-passionate music. I guess that's the best way to put it. I don't know.
That's the best way to put it. I really like that song a lot. I've been on just big Tory Lanez kick lately. I've also been big on a big A$AP Rocky kick and big Post Malone kick. The next one, album of the week, I'm gonna go with Stoney.
Dude, fantastic album.
Classic. It came back into my life as of recently, probably like a week ago, week and a half ago. I forgot how good it is. Like I thought Beer Bungs and Bentley was my favorite album of Post Malone's. Hollywood's Bleeding I thought was good. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world. I forget what the latest album is called. Something Carat Toothache, I think it's called. I forget. 24 Carat or 12 Carat Toothache. I forget exactly what it's called. That's how much you can tell how much I really like that new album. I only like maybe like 2-3 songs on there. That album is just an absolute bop. And honestly, it just overtook Beer Bunks and Bentleys as my favorite. Like I said, I haven't listened to it in forever. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, this is a lot better. I mean, Beer Bunks and Bentleys, I love that album. One of my personal favorites. This has definitely hopped that over. Everything from Deja Vu, No Options, all the way down to When It Made Me Do This. I don't know. It's just 3 songs right off the bat. It's just amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was like, I'm trying to sit here and like try to come up with an album that's even remotely close to either of those. For me and Jason, just for the record, if you're an IU grad, we did have Post Malone our welcome week, and that may have been one of the best welcome week artists to sniff Bloomington, Indiana. That was awesome. So just for the record, Post Malone will always hold a little favorite spot in my heart when he looked out the crowd and told everyone that, Purdue's weird. That made my heart happy. And that was one of those favorite memories that I'll always remember. So shout out Post Malone for that, because you know what? Purdue is a bunch of nerds. Sorry about it. We're better looking. We may not be as smart, but it doesn't matter, because guess what? We are better looking. Just kidding, those out there. Well, not really. But besides the point, album of the week for me, in particular, is going to go a little bit kind of backwards in my life cycle. I'm going to go American Teen with Khalid. Not one of my favorite artists, but one of those albums that I think was kind of a good album, and more in particular in kind of the time frame of my life. Young, Dumb, and Broke, when you're like 17, 18, kind of hit a little bit different. American Teen was fantastic. I got to see him at Lollapalooza the summer that dropped. So American Teen, great summer album, not to mention if you're hanging out with friends and you just kind of want to enjoy the time on a bonfire, grabbing a drink with your friends, just relaxing, might be up there. So American Teen, probably my album for the week. And I know everybody out here, hopefully if you haven't listened to it, you take a peek and listen to it. So you guys got anything else? Yeah.
Great album. You have Young, Dumb, and Broke stuck in my head now. In my head, I'm like, Young, Dumb, Broke.
No, yeah. I know he's not like one of the most famous artists in terms of what I would say popularity, or even maybe not even legacy, but as you can sit here seeing it with Jason, it's a fantastic song, not to mention a fantastic album. So take a minute, listen, enjoy, be happy. Life's short. Don't stress so much. I think that's what that album told me. So, you boys got anything else for us before we kind of wrap it up for the night? Awesome. Nah. Awesome. So, like I said, today is the 2nd of May. This is another episode of One Too Many. I've had the fortunate kind of ability to be able to hang with two beautiful brothers of mine, Jason Tesler and Keith Allen. Like that is being said, engage with us in some sort of manner, whether you're comment, subscribe, liking, sending me an email. I do not care. Buy a sweatshirt. We have a link. I don't care. But in all honesty,
we don't have sweatshirts just yet. They're coming, though. They're coming.
Exactly. They'll be here in a minute. But most importantly, we enjoy the fact that you guys took the time to listen today. And most importantly, all three of us enjoy spending the time giving our opinions, because guess what? There's one too many of them in this world, and we don't give a shit, because you're going to hear ours anyway. So without further ado, thank you for tuning in today. We love you. Take care. God bless. Amen.
Peace.